Morning everybody. As you know, I don't do the videos when I'm driving so much anymore, but I'm stuck in traffic in Kilburn, so I'm going about 2 miles an hour, and I thought I'll take this opportunity because life on the road can often be busy. Right, I know I do the Sunday Q&A thing, but I've had this question come in from 2 different people on the same week, from Donkey and Digger, hello mate, and Johnny McFowle, and they both have said, why do we have to send in paper PODs, or do we have to send in paper PODs when we've got the digital one? And rather than sort of replying to them both on the text on the comments thing, and it's kind of complicated, I thought I'd just do a little video about it. So the long and the short of it is this: every company that you work for is different. Every shipper, whether you're going for Speedy Freight or whether you go for Crown or HPC, they all want different things. Some of them are happy with the digital one. Some of them only want the digital one. These are very few and far between. I've only ever come across 2 in the 400 to 500 jobs I've done now, and they both said it's the 21st century, we don't want a pile of paper, don't send us the paper PODs. If you do, it may even delay payment. This is very rare. Most of them want the paper PODs. I would say probably 80% of them say we will not pay until we have receipt of a paper POD. And then there's the other ones, there's the other odds ones, which I've also had, where they only want paper PODs and don't want digital. The problem that you've got when you're out there running on the road all the time is the fact that have you really got time at the end of every job to look, okay, well, what did that one want? Okay, what should I do there? Well, I'll make a note of that. Or when you're doing your invoicing, looking at every single one or ringing them up and going, do you need the paper POD? Do you not need the paper POD? So what I have found, and this has worked very well for me so far, which is I do a belts and braces approach. So when I get to the end, I have my paper POD. If it's either provided, like this one I've got here from PCS, I'll get them to sign that, or I make my own one out of this book here. Although I've got the delivery, when this book's run out, I'm going to do it out of, I'm going to print them off now, because thanks very much guys for giving me the PDF. It's much cheaper, just print them off, cut them in half. So what you do is you get them to do the paper POD, and you get them to print and sign on the paper POD, then get them to sign on the digital app, and then it goes to take a photo of the paper POD, and then you click send, and it will say delivered POD, and then you create the invoice. And then on the Saturday, I get my paper POD, which I keep in this folder here, all stacked up in order, and I then print off the invoices off the CX. I photocopy all the paper PODs and put them in a drawer, and I clip them together and I put them in an envelope and I send them off, which means they have got the digital POD, they have got the original paper POD, and if for some reason, and it has happened, they have lost the original paper POD, or it's got lost in the post, and they've rung me and they've gone, where's the paper POD? We can't call it, we can't pay you until we've got it. I say, no problem, I've got a copy. I write the invoice number on the back of the POD, go to the drawer, say it's invoice 334, find it, photocopy it again, just in case they lose it twice, put it in an envelope and send it again with another invoice. This way you're covered from every possible angle. They've got the digital one, they've had the original. If they lose the original, we send them a copy of the original. If they lose it again, we send them another copy of the original. If they lose it again, they're messing you about, because that just doesn't happen. I mean, my friend Tony even got to the stage of record posting all of his PODs. The problem with this is they can, all that will say, they'll sign for it and they say, well, we got the envelope, but the POD wasn't in it. Because you can't actually physically, unless you physically drive to the shipper and deliver the POD into his hand and take a photo, there's no way of proving it. So what I find the best thing to do, invoice it, get the paper POD, get the invoice, staple them together, put them in one of those envelopes with the windows, because they're much quicker. Second class stamp, it's going to get there. It doesn't matter whether it gets there in a day or 2 or 3 days, and there you are, and you're covered from every angle. I mean, the problem with this is it's unenvironmentally friendly. We're bashing out a load of paper we don't need to bash out. It's also time consuming. It's work for us, because that means on a Saturday morning I've got to spend an hour or so collating everything, putting it together. So it's an hour of my life that I could do, you know, I could be doing the garden. There's lots of other things I could be doing in my life, but this approach, like I say, I'm on 400 or 500 jobs now, and I think I've ever had 3 queries out of the whole thing. So that is the way I do it. You might have a different way of doing it. If you have, please let me know. But that one works for me. There are also, I mean, there's a caveat. There are certain firms that I work for. I work for HBC and I work for En Route. And both of them, I take the photos of the PODs and they say, just keep hold of them. Don't bother sending them in. I've never had to send in an invoice or a... So I know if it comes up on my thing, if it's an HBC job or an En Route job, I don't have to do it. I just stick it in the drawer. So you will get regular customers. And when you've got regular customers, if you're going to be doing 4 or 5 jobs from a week, then you can have your special arrangement the way it works out. But if it's just a general job you buy off the CX, my approach is give them the digital. Get the digital, take the photo of the paper POD, photocopy the paper POD and write the invoice number on the back, and then sellotape then staple the original POD to the invoice and send it in second class. That works. Right, I'm going to go now. I'm still not moving, not really, but then I'm... Hang on, Dan, after you. Where am I? You know, the first drop this morning is... from the warehouse, fortunately. I've got 1 in Clapham, drop that off, that's a pallet. Then Clapham, unfortunately I've co-loaded, I've got 2 on the same job. Then the pallet, and then I go over to Holloway Road, the Coronet Pub, where I've got to drop off a metal gate. And then I'm over to Pitstone to pick up something to take to Silverstone. And then after that, Amptill to Nebworth. That's 4 jobs, that'll be a nice day. It's a lovely sunny day, it's not too warm. Hope you're all out there, hope you're all taking money. That's today's report from Peter, courier driver, the man on the street. Take care, take money.